Hey everyone. So we are back and we're going to continue on with doing some panel cuts on Chopper's body. So if you look at your reference on his front panel, he has a rectangular cutout here and then another one here. So we're going to do that right now. Okay, so we're going to start with a cube and let's make it about 7. Okay. Alright, so roughly that's where we want it. So I just hit F on the keyboard and that just zooms us into whatever selected. And it's still way too big, so we're gonna let's try that, and then we'll lower it down like that. Now I want to make it rotate it, so we'll move over the top and go to the rotation key and just move it up and about 41 degrees. Okay. And I think I want to just that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to just extend it out the back. Oh, actually I can't do that. So what I will do, so I want to make sure it goes out the back a little bit. First going to turn it into a hole. And then, so I can keep it aligned, I'm going to drag a helper object onto it here. I'm going to reselect it. Now by doing that, that moves this to the top. And if you just slide it on this, you can keep it on a vertical parallel axis. So perpendicular axis, excuse me. So that's pretty good. I'm looking back and forth and looking at the picture. That seems to be working. So we have that piece. And then the next piece is over here. So I'm going to drag this back down. I'm going to drag another cube. Just slide it over. And let's just move it up. Turn it to a hole. Makes it easier to see. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to keep it aligned with this, with the bottom edge of this whole cube. So that's the way it appears to be on Chopper's side. So right now obviously it's way too high. pretty good. I'll slide it in. So I want to roughly align it with this vertical line here. So I want to roughly align it with this vertical line here. So I'm going to use the right arrow key on the keyboard. Just it's a little too much. Not to be exact, but pretty close. And just actually just a little more. So I'm going to drop it down to 0.25 on the edit grid, snap grid, and with the right key button. There. That works for me. I'm going to go back to 1. Alright. And then I'm going to slide this over. And I could probably just a little bit over. Okay, maybe just a little bit more there. Okay, I think that works. All right, and there's one other piece right up here. So I'll save a little time and we'll use this piece. I'm going to hit edit, duplicate, and let's just shrink this down a little bit. I'm going to use the right arrow key. Okay, then I'm going to move them up. Okay. Now this guy shares a line with this guy. Okay, so let's just use the arrow key. Alright, then let's use the rotation. It's pretty good. I'm just looking to see how it is size-wise. I think it's still a little big, so we'll just, and then I'm gonna, so I want to move this over, but I want to keep it parallel. So right now if I do it, it'll do it at an angle. So again, we'll do our little trick with the work plane, drag it there, reselect, and then let's it's a little too much, so I'm going to drag it back. There we go. And then I'm going to slide this over. Oops, just a little too much. So let's go to, on the snap grid, down to 0.25. And there. Okay. Just want to move this down just a little bit. Actually, gonna go backwards. It was better the other way. Okay. Alright. Now when we eyeball it, it's always going to be a little bit off. It is okay. It's half the fun though. So actually I want this to be a little more aligned. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Move this over a little bit. Okay. That looks about right. Okay. And this one doesn't have to go as far in, so let's make sure. Yeah, see, that's going really deep. We don't need it to go that far. So we'll just lower this down. Alright. And I'm just going to rotate it a little bit more. Oops. There we go. Now let's just realign the work plane. Okay. So now we know it's going straight up and down. Oops. That's a no-no. Okay. All right. Looks good. So now we'll do our cuts. So we select the cube, select the cylinder, chopper's body, and go group. Let's see if that was deep enough. Yeah, that could go a little deeper. So we'll go backwards. Push this in a little further. Okay. Do it again. Hit group. There we go. That's better. Then select his body. Select the other whole cube. Select group. That looks good. And then select the other whole cube, group. Okay, that doesn't need to be that deep, so I'm going to undo. Going to return the work plane down and going to use the arrow key. Here we go. Select the cylinder and group. There we go. All right. There we have our cuts. Now we need to put stuff in them. So we'll do that in the next lesson. See you then. Thanks for watching. And if you like what you see and you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe.